Oh, I didn't know you could do for... whatever. Alright, so we're back. Continue on with your story.
So, like I was saying, for those of you who don't know, my dad is a piano guy. He does not everything with pianos, because the only thing he can't do is tune, because my dad sucks at hearing, and you need excellent hearing to tune a piano.
Yeah, of course.
He refinishes them, he converts them into a player piano, and then once when he does a job, you do a job with him or have him do something with your piano, you have him for life to do any little minor things. Like if something's wrong with the player system, he will come back and will keep continuing being yours and for as long as he does his job.
That's pretty cool.
So there was this one time when I was like really, really little. I kind of forgot how old I was. My dad ended up having a job in the city.
Well, let's see. That was had to be like what, 96 when this...
So I was probably like 5.
Yeah.
So my dad was babysitting me for the day, but he had a job in the city to go to Nicolas Cage's house in San Francisco to work on his piano because he wanted to. He had a party. He was gonna have like this party, and he wanted his piano be converted into a player system.
And Nicolas Cage happened to be making a movie in San Francisco, so that should give you all a little possible hint as to what movie. And why would we be talking about this during a game with Sean Connery?
But anyways, his like agent or the person who my dad was talking to set up this whole appointment mentioned to him that he was in San Francisco filming a movie and that he would be away that day on set, so Nicolas Cage wouldn't be at his house. And so my dad was like, yeah, that's fine. And then my dad's like, cool, perfect, great. I could just go in, get my job done, and get out as fast as possible. Right. Because when it comes to stuff like that, my dad really doesn't like it when the customer is there. Because then they'll start asking questions, and he kind of like has to stop what he's doing to explain everything.
Yeah, no, that goes for like every job where you work in somebody's house. It's just like, it's
you just
better.
Want it better when they're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
So we go there. I get all excited because being like the little kid me, I know who Nicolas Cage is from watching different movies when I was growing up.
Which is how our generation does things. Damn
exactly. And so we went there. We knock on the door because we were told that like a housekeeper or whatever was going to be there and they will let us in. And so lo and behold, freaking Nicolas Cage opens the door. Explains to my dad about how the director and a couple of the producers went out to party the night before and they all ate something bad and got sick. And so they had a couple of days off.
Yeah.
And so you hear my dad in the background saying, bitch, like under his breath.
Son of a bitch, I have to talk to Nicolas Cage. Damn it.
And here I was as a little kid just like, like seeing Nicolas Cage in person. And so my dad was doing his work. When I go with my dad on trips, like on jobs, my job was to hand him tools. Like, okay, I need this. Like, okay, here you go.
Were like the starstruck, barely able to hand it to him, kind of like...
No, it felt awkward because that's all that I do. And there was Nicolas Cage there just watching me, or like watching the whole thing going down. And I was just like, and I'm looking at my dad like, give me something else to do other than handing you tools, god damn it. This is weird. And then...
Okay, we're talking Nicolas Cage, and this is the weirdest thing in the scenario?
For me, I felt weird because I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be more hands-on work. I'm not sitting there sitting, because granted, there could be times where it can go on for 20 minutes, and my dad still hasn't said that he needed a tool because he just needs that one tool. And so I'll be sitting there, and I'm just like, whoa. And then after a while, Nicolas Cage got up from his seat, went underneath the piano, and was just literally singing, like... And my dad was actually really, really shocked, because Nicolas Cage did his homework. So my dad really didn't have to answer any of Nicolas Cage's questions.
Oh, well, that's good.
Because Nicolas Cage already knew... pretty much, because he kind of like researched how to convert it and everything. So he literally was just like confirming like what kind of systems he is using. Is this the cable that will go here? My dad kind of like had a face of like, what is this madness? I have a person who understands what I'm doing.
Like, why am I here? Can't you do this?
Right? And so that was actually pretty cool. But this is so
it gets better.
Yes, it gets very better, because as we were. Okay, so the movie that he was filming was The Rock.
Yeah.
And so, as we were leaving his house when the job was done and everything, as we were leaving, frickin' Sean Connery was walking up.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
Walking up to his house. And he literally stops my dad and was just like, "Oh, so you're the piano guy Nick was talking about."
Why did I just think in my head?
If I need a piano guy, he's like, he gave me your number and I will give you a call. And my dad's like, thanks. Okay. Like, he really didn't know what to say. Like, I never saw my dad starstruck before because usually that doesn't faze him.
I know.
But with Sean Connery, he was just like,
I know, because you're saying the piano guy, I just imagine Sean Connery bursting, "Sing us a song, the piano man." With Nicolas Cage, like, on the harmonica. That would be the greatest story ever, if that's how it actually would happen.
And
no. And
all this and that, and so, granted, this was before I started watching James Bond, so I really didn't know who this guy was, and so when my dad had to drop me off at my grandma's house because they wanted to go do something, and my grandmother was absolutely in love with Sean Connery.
As most women are. Even
she would, like, when we were in the city, like, when we were all, like, for the longest time, like, when she was one of those people that will follow him to figure out where he was going to be on a certain day, and if we were going to be there, she was going to dress up all nice. You know, there was one time that there was, like, news that he was in San Francisco doing something other than when he wasn't there for The Rock, and we were all going to go there once, because my uncle also lives in the city, to visit my uncle, and she dressed up all nice, got her makeup done, got her hair done nice, and then she was just like, and we were just like, okay, and it's just like, what? I might meet Sean Connery. I want to give him my best side. And so when she found out that we met Sean Connery, she did not talk to me for a week, and then she did not talk to my dad and ignored his presence because he was able to shake his hand for like a month.
It was for work, though. It's not like he planned. He's just like, haha, I'm going to meet Sean Connery.
Right?
It's like he happened to be working at Nicolas Cage's place.
During the time when they both were there to film a movie.
Yeah. It's not like your dad, like, said, I'm going to get Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery in the same place. That'll show you.
Right? Ha 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 ha. I swear, interesting things happen in San Francisco, though.
Yeah.
With all, like, the famous, like, with, you know, I never realized how many people, like, famous people actually lives in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But then I stopped, and then I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I'm like, wait, look how expensive San Francisco is. Can you?
Yeah, only people like that can.
Right, and only people like that can afford to live in luxury.
Us schmoes can't. Well, not yet.
Well, yeah, not yet.
Someday, perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah. Although, you know, I'm kind of okay living, like, in the suburbs or whatever, because, like, you're not that...
I can work in the city and I can live out here.
Yeah, because it's, like, it's not that far.
Right?
Yeah, it's literally, like, not even an hour and we're there. He sure showed that ground his boss.
Right.
Would you please...
What's blinking?
Oh, the Northgate key.
Do you even know what we're supposed to do?
I'm supposed to go through the... Don't you remember this is the...
Oh.
The pre-title sequence.
Oh, okay.
So you know how it ends.
Yeah.
But maybe the audience doesn't, so we won't spoil it. Because,
no spoilers.
You know... Yeah, not everybody's seen James Bond 850,000 times like we have.
I'm actually saving up so I can buy, like, the complete set.
Oh, don't, because, like, when you and Jake get your own place, I want to get that for you guys as a housewarming gift.
Okay, that's fine.
Hopefully by then they have it on ultra high def or higher, because I know Jake is wanting to get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Now that...
Yeah, we have this one. Well, you have this one, and he wants to.
You guys can come over whenever and watch it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean, you guys helped me set it up. It's only fair. We broke it in by watching Justice League and Thor Ragnarok, which is a kind of a strange double feature. But damn it, we liked Justice League.
Yeah, I really did.
Maybe not everybody else does. Maybe some of you out there don't like fun things. I could go off on a whole rant about that, but I'm not gonna.
Right?
Because I'm sure if people feel the way that they do, that I would be ragging against them. Wait a minute, I have a fucking machine gun. Why am I just like... It's like Indiana Jones with the guy with the sword. Like,
Right?
Which, we've been playing an Indiana Jones game, although I don't know if it'll be released yet when this comes out. But we shall see.
Who knows?
Some of these take L.A. Noire took us 6 months to record, for God's sake. I tried to... There we go.
There you go.
Yeah,
blow things up.
You remember that part in the movie, right?
Yep.
Where Bond, or not Bond, that is the question. You just... Yeah, he slammed him into that rock-hard tree. I should probably be doing like that. Apparently Sean Connery farted, or they hit the... Did he get fucking motion sickness or something? He kind of stumbled for a minute.
Well, I mean, he probably did get dizzy. As anyone would.
Damn, she missed. Is this it, or... This camera's starting to make me a little dizzy. All these whoosh pans.
Right?
Or Sean Connery say whoosh pans. I know that he doesn't actually, but it's not that exaggerated, but whatever.
Speaking of Sean Connery.
Yes.
No, I'm just excited for the movie that we're going to watch later.
Oh, yeah, Marie and I are going to be watching The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's one of those guilty pleasure movies. Like, we acknowledge it's not a good movie.
It's not that great, but then there's a lot of actors in it, like Sean Connery included, that just, makes it a little much more tolerable.
Yeah.
But then also, too, I'm like one of those weird people that, as a kid, I've read the majority of those books that they're based off of.
Yeah, so...
And so, when I saw them all together, I'm just like, it's like a literary Avengers.
Yeah, basically. Well, I had this YouTube channel, where I would talk about movies. Like, I started off reviewing them, but then later I would just, talk about them. I actually did a video on The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I kind of inferred that, if it weren't for that movie, then maybe it wouldn't have been as possible to do the Avengers.
Yeah.
Because it kind of was like, oh, it can be done. I mean, it wasn't done, great, but maybe it can be done better by someone later, and it was.
Yeah.
So I do honestly feel like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie, paved the way for the Avengers.
Yeah.
You've never read the comic, huh? Because I have the first 2 volumes. Actually, in the comics, Quartermain is not really the leader. Mina is.
You're going to need a miracle, Jane.
Which is weird because everybody got pissed when they're like, oh, they're going to remake the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's going to be more female-centric. Everybody's like, ooh, this is fucking bullshit. I'm like, Mina fucking was the one who put together the team in the comics, you idiots.
Yeah, right?
I mean, they just changed it to Quartermain because it's Sean Connery, the star of the movie and all that.
Right?
Anywho.
Receive a briefing from M. So, we just saw Moneypenny.
I know, for all of 2 seconds, but we saw her. And so, on the next episode, we will go in and speak to M. For
Right?
Yeah, it's spelled M, but it's actually pronounced Yummy.